In that last lovely shot of Lili, you saw the 4 non-live actors so happy and pleased for darling little Leslie Caron. Well, we have 3 of them with us still many years later. Here's the giant, here's Renardo the fox, here is the lovely Marguerite, and the gentleman, no, that is not, regrettably, Carrot Top. We're very glad to have you, Alan, but we wish we had both of you. This is Alan Cook, everybody, who is the current owner of these 3 actors whom you saw for the last hour and a half. Welcome, Alan. Nice to have you here.
Thank you.
Would you tell, they look a little tired. They've just come back from 3 years on tour, I understand.
Yes, they visited 11 cities, museums throughout the United States, and this was an exhibition called Puppets, Art and Entertainment, sponsored by Puppeteers of America.
And Alan is himself an expert on the puppet business, and tell us a little bit about your career before we talk about the movie.
Well, I've worked just about every kind of puppet. I've done some stop-action work with Art Clokey Productions, who created Gumby.
Oh, sure.
Worked briefly with George Powell's Puppet Tunes on Brothers Grimm. Worked with Renee, a local puppeteer of some standing, the Croft brothers at the Poupée shows.
My gosh, there's nobody you've missed. And where did you get these? At the MGM auction, as I've heard rumors of?
That's right. In fact, I was on the way over the hilltop on the Grapevine Highway going northbound, and I sent somebody in my place to bid on them, and he got them for $15 a piece.
Oh, how fabulous. Well, let's talk about the 2 gentlemen. O'Rourke and Walton is all I know as far as their names are concerned. Mm-hmm. Would you tell me about them, and we'll take a look, and we have a picture of them, too.
Right. Paul Walton and Michael O'Rourke are definitely among the finest puppeteers America ever produced. In the 1930s, they were working for Columbia Pictures until they got enough money to open their own theater on Olvera Street in Los Angeles.
All right, now we have a shot in Olvera Street of a very famous gentleman, Mr. Jimmy Durante in the middle there, and several Jimmy Durantes, right?
Well, those are Punch and Judy. Actually, they're 2 Mr. Punches with large noses that look suspiciously like Jimmy Durante himself. This is kind of a joke shot because of the resemblance.
And those are the gentlemen, Mr. Walton and Mr. O'Rourke, right?
Yes, Michael O'Rourke's on the left and Paul Walton on the right.
How marvelous. And we're going to show you now a picture of Misha Auer. Now, you may not remember Misha Auer, but your parents will. And he is surrounded by some skinnier ones.
Yeah, those skeleton puppets come apart and reassemble. It's a vaudeville routine that goes back about 400 years, and they had a marvelous version of it in the Walton and O'Rourke show.
And this was on Olvera Street, too?
Yes.
Right. And finally, a lady that we get so many requests for. We can't show her movies because we don't own them, but we have the lovely Deanna Durbin. That she's in the middle, and Ginger Rogers, and is that...
Say that? I'm not sure who that is on the left. That's an actress before my time. They also had some backstage visits from Jane Withers besides.
Well, if anybody knows who the mysterious actress was, let us know. But obviously, Walton and O'Rourke were very popular, and regrettably, they are no longer with us. Now, let's talk about these 3 of the 4 stars in our movie today. Mel Ferrer seemed to be doing all the voices. Is that correct?
Right. There were actually 4 different puppeteers, 1 for each puppet backstage. Conceivably, on an actual puppet show, 1 puppeteer could work a hand puppet on each hand, so this was correct. But because these had special animation, moving eyebrows and eyes and mouths, you needed the other hand to activate these features.
And MGM sort of let us believe that it was Kurt Kasner and Mel Ferrer, just the 2 of them.
Of course they did.
Sure they did. Now, I have heard also that there is some association with Kukla Fran Alley. And certainly the character that Leslie Caron played could have been inspired by Fran Allison. Is that true?
It is true. The original story, Love for $7, was written by Paul Gallico, and the story was dedicated to Bert Tillstrom, who created Kukla Fran and Ollie.
That's really interesting. Well, I have only the greatest admiration for the workmanship, clay and wood, of the Messrs. Walton and O'Rourke, and Alan, I cannot thank you enough, and Bob Baker, too. I must mention our good friend Bob Baker down at the Bob Baker Marionette Theater, who put me in contact with you and got you up here to bring your friends along. We have just a brief amount of time to show you a terrific Popeye cartoon, which, oddly enough, deals with puppets. It's called Puppet Love, so stick around with us and watch it, and then we'll be back to say goodbye.